On bikes. Oh, mate, we've got it all on Rangers Radio. How are you, GFK?
I'm fine, guys. I'm fine, mate. It's good to be on tonight. I'm looking forward to a good show. Yep. Weather's getting a wee bit up and down. Supposed to be getting snow up here again tonight. But hey ho, nice and toasty in here and get the radio on tonight. So you can't whack that, guys.
Yeah, that's a nice t-shirt you're going with these shorts, mate. You suit it.
Yeah, thanks very much, mate.
Cheeky devil, isn't he?
Cheeky about that. Nice t-shirt. He obviously got it for his Christmas.
Oh dear.
Alright, now that you mentioned that, and Mr. JFK's sitting there with a nice designer Castor t-shirt on that he got off his good lady for his Christmas.
Yeah.
How do you think the club's doing during this pandemic? Because, come on, if we're sitting this time last year and we're trying to plan all this out and you've got to deal with it all, there's no way you know what's coming, is there? Nobody could have foreseen the last 12 months in life, but uniquely I'm asking you two about Rangers. How do you think we've done? Start with you, GFK.
I think they've done tremendous, mate. I think the work protocol keeps getting thrown about everywhere and anywhere. And, I know we had the wee glitch with the two dafties who were at a party, but Rangers dealt with that fantastically, and they were congratulated on the government. We nipped it on the bud right away. So I'm pleased. Though I mean, we can't be complacent. No, things can happen down the line, but as it goes so far, mate, I think we've been impeccable of what the way we're running the Rangers outside and inside. So long may that continue, and everybody keeps well.
You've covered the sort of COVID issue, if you like, mate. But we've also got the football team plus, if you like, the business, and how we've still managed to take that forward at a really difficult time.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, some of the deals that the clubs managed to bring in sponsorship wise, and now there's a share issue in that way. It's supposed to be Club 1872 or something supposed to be crowned for that. But playing wise, I mean, look, Nene's ever thought. I heard you say the other night that nobody would ever thought we'd be 20 points ahead at this stage of any season for a long time, and it's happened. Players up with a wee glitch here against the Motherwell, but no, we're allowed that. We can't. Too many people out there are forgetting where they are and forgetting where we were. So, and football wise and commercially, I think the cash store thing, the shops, and that. Be teething problems there, but as I said before, that'll come. I don't think Castore realised at the time how big a club Rangers were, but they do now. And I think
you say big a club, are you talking about big supporters or big supporters?
Well, I'm talking about both large supporters and big supporters.
All right, large support and big supporters.
Aye. But all in all, it's been fantastic.
If you were scoring it, mate, what would you say how we've handled it out of 10, mate? What would you say? Honestly,
I'd give it an 8.5 to a 9.
All right, that's pretty good. Bridgeman, I know that you get the Telegraph and the Times in the morning. You're looking at all your stocks and shares, seeing how things are developing in the world of finance, business, how things are going for you. So how have you seen it when you affect? First and foremost, we're football fans, but everything affects your club, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm very proud of my club. They've come a long way this last 9 years, and that's for sure. And it's been all uphill most of the time, but we're getting very close to being getting some good silverware. Manager, similarly third year and in charge, which is tremendous. We're playing good football, so I'm really, really happy. The finances appear to be under control by the board. So let's hope they've still got people on just waiting to come in and put some more money in. With a bit of luck, a lot of luck really, we win this championship. That gives us shall we say, first stab at the Champions League. And I hope we can do something in there, because that'll give us marvellous finances that we haven't had for God knows how many years since we got really good finances like that. Not to say we don't do well in Europa League, you get good finances there as well, but nothing like the Champions League. If you do the same distance and you do well. So that's what we're looking for, I'm hoping for. But at the end of the day, I'm a Rangers man. It's as simple as that. Whatever it needs to do, we do it. Let's get the Rangers back up again and keep them there. Support them well.
And how do you think, when I know you talk to a lot of your family, mate, when we're not on the show, about how the club's gone and all that, and obviously maybe it's the most difficult time that football collectively has ever had. How do you feel, you personally, Bridge, when you're talking to them? How do you think our club has handled the problems in the last 12 months?
Well, I thought they've handled everything quite magnificently, considering. But there's no matter what the club is, there's always going to be major problems in this type of scenario. This past 12 months has been remarkably bad for the football. But Rangers have came through it, and the club themselves handled it well. The board have handled it well, and I'm delighted with them. Delighted the way they've done it, and everything's still going. A lot of people would have said that Rangers would have fallen apart, simply because there's no finance coming in. But it's all there. They seem to have it all set up, and they're giving the manager the bit of finance that he's required to get the team in. And he's, based on what we're seeing, he's got quite a good team in it. We're doing no bad. So all we need now is to hold our nerve and win the next 5 games or whatever it takes to get wherever we're going to. Let's go and get that. Not on the train 55, number 55, and go and do it.
First and foremost, win the one on Saturday, and then it becomes one less, and it gets closer and closer. But
exactly.
I want to focus on how the club's running this new GFK before we start the football. Yeah. Before I go to that, I just want we've not heard from you for Sunday. Just a quick GFK's thoughts. I mean, one each. God, I remember starting at Motherwell. You weren't far away from me. We get beat 3-0.
I remember that day.
One for a week. Why? So listen, it's results happen.
Of course you do.
You've got to put it into perspective.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, the first half of the game was very poor all round. And I mean, even when they were 1-0 up, and I know saying this because we did get a draw, but I mean, I'm sitting watching it with my 2 boys, and really, I couldn't see us getting beat. A draw was a fair result in context with the way we came out the second half, but I couldn't see us getting beat. We certainly deserved to win the game with some of the chances we had in the second half, but a draw will take, because I'd have been more concerned, if that's the right phrase, that if the puddle drinkers if they had a win, and then it was like them gaining 2 points, but there was no damage done, and I'm happy. I'm happy with that. We're still 20 points ahead. They play tomorrow night, so who cares? But we play on Saturday, and they don't play at all at the weekend because of the Cup semi-finals and the League Cup. So again, we could just go that roll again and go the extra points. So I'm not saying I'm ultra pleased. I'd like to win the game, but we didn't.
Of course.
But we did. We've not. It's not done any damage to the situation of going forward. They still need to play catch up. Now, I've always said a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, mate. We've got the games under our belt. They haven't.
You say that again?
Bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
All right, okay. We'll take your word for it, mate. You've been a lot more experienced in life than myself.
Very good.
Can I just say, listen, you'll know this, used to, but we're going live for the first time out tonight on Instagram. Yeah? Right. I mean, considering you've just worked out what a telegram is, Bridge, it's no bad.
Aye.
So, to everybody that's joining us on Instagram for the first time tonight, welcome to Rangers Radio. We believe, I don't know if it's a lot, but there's over 1,000 people signed up on Instagram already today.
Good stuff.
Unbelievable. So, anybody wants a signed photo on a blank sheet of paper, we'll do that for you. One of the
I've still got some pictures of me in the Mankini if anybody's interested.
You'll get done for that one.
It's good for your dartboard.
You'll get done for that one, I'll tell you.
Good for above the mantelpiece. Keeps the winds away from the fire. Is that right, GF?
Well, that's true.
It's been known to keep Rottweilers away from the doorway. I tell you, scary stuff.
All right, I've just been informed that some of the followers on Instagram have been there for a while, but it's just today that we've been able to stream. There's no 1,000 people formed up because we don't tell fibs on here. We've got a certain club across the city who tell fibs about other clubs, etc. Their manager can't keep his powder dry. Good to see the other clubs in Scotland coming out and putting them straight. Right, okay, so Look, so I'm asking you two, where are we? Where are we going? Are you happy? And the big question will be for the support is, we're going to get letters through 6 weeks' time approximately. Are we all in for next season again? I'm not even going to ask you first, Bridge. GFK.
In principle, yes. Circumstances might make Graham's work. We could take him a different way. So he's working every weekend, so he doesn't even get to see it on the TV. So there's no much point in him, as he says, paying £500 for a ticket that he's never going to be able to use. That's at the moment. And I will say, if Graham's no going, I won't be going. And I put my cards on the table right away. I enjoy going to the game with my boys, but I wouldn't be going myself. I'd rather go with him. So I'm upfront about that. If it doesn't pan out the way we hope it does, then no, I won't be renewing next season, mate. Only for that reason.
Personal reasons rather than anything that's happening.
Yes. I'll give Rangers my money, but I'm no silly to say there's my £1,000.
I'm going to get Graham a job Monday to Friday. I get it, mate. I understand people have got circumstances. And I've already been messaged. You'll not believe this, GFK. You've not had the words out your mouth, and somebody says, "I'll have his 2 tickets."
Right. Who is that?
I'll not say, but
is that the lobby? Aye.
No, he lives in Luton.
All right.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
There are people who'll buy your season tickets off you, and you know it yourself. No problem at all.
Okay.
Can I comment on what you're saying?
Yes. I'm going to sit back and listen.
No, I was just going to say that, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have any major problems other than health, if you follow what I mean. So providing my health, my age gives it away. Providing my health stands up, I'll be getting my season ticket. I'll be in first in the queue if I can be first in the queue, and I'll be doing that as soon as they ask me for it. I'll give them it. I just want to see my club survive and flourish. That's what I want. And I need it.
Oh, sorry, Bridge. I thought you were finished. Carry on,
bud. Carry on. You're right.
Done? Yeah. Aye. So I great support the club however way you can. So before we open this up to the phone lines and get their point of view, we could give the number at Bridge, and then I've got another question for you two guys. So what's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Where else can they join us, GFK?
They can join us in RangersRadio.online on the Skype. Call in. We'll call you back. Please hang up. We'll call you back. Be patient.
It's not difficult.
It's not difficult.
Hang up. We'll phone you back. We got a record beat last night with somebody phoning. Right, okay, so we're all in and we're all going to support. How have you found watching the matches this year? Forget about the normal games like Murrow that you might not be at because you don't go to away games anymore. How have you found it, if you like, the substitute or not going to the match? Do you think some people that'll be the way they're going to go in the future, or do you think there's nothing to beat the atmosphere of going to the game? Bridgeman.
Well, as you know, I enjoy watching my team, and most of the time I watch my team, particularly this season anyway, has been through television. And I hope that there's a lot of folk, particularly around older guys around about where I sit, would probably benefit from the club giving them something. When the season ticket opens, let's say for next season, we're actually back in the stadiums. I'm just using it loosely. And that's what I'm dying to see, and so is everybody else. But there's a lot of folk won't be able to go to Ibrox for the whole variety of reasons. But I think if they come up with similar to what they're doing for their season ticket holders at the moment, if they give them that type of thing and let them get in to watch it, they need to do something with Rangers TV to make it easier for the elderly people, the ones that just can't afford the full season ticket, that kind of thing. I don't know how they would do it, so don't ask me. I'm not a great ideas man that way.
I think with the elderly support, mate, with this pandemic, mate, if I'm being really honest, it's the generation that's run about JFK's boys. Mm-hmm. They've been decimated with jobs and what they're having to put up with, mate.
Yeah.
The
TV thing.
They've had it tough.
The TV thing for me, I wasn't keen on at the start, but as the season grew, then obviously I got into it, and I mean, obviously you can hear by my voice, most weeks when I'm on, and I'm excited about the football, and I think that's because what Rangers have achieved for us this season. Yeah, at the start I thought it was a wee bit tedious at times. It was laborious. Wasn't enjoying it. I must admit, it took me about 4 or 5 games before I actually thought, this is okay, right, we'll go into this.
Was that the fact when you were sitting there watching it, you could see your empty seat?
Aye. It's a missing. I mean,
okay.
I like your situation where you're based in that, and I know that that's the way you've got to view it, because where you're, and then when you get up, obviously I know, knowing you, that I know you're a wee way in at the sweetie shop again. You can't wait to get back up the road to your own home, so to speak, to see the Rangers, because that's the way we live. And I'm like Bridgeman. I want to be there. It's whether people think it's corny. I know it's great to meet Bridgeman and Skipper and Fox and all the other guys at the bistro, and I meet them going for a beer. Like I've met old school and things like that. And I've managed to create a few good friends through Rangers Radio.
What I don't like about that mob is they make me wake outside the Loudon because I'm that young. They don't let me in, you know.
Oh, you still won't look for a lift there.
What
on that context, definitely miss it tremendously, you know. But going to you're saying about the generation thing, you know, I mean, I do know another 4 or 5 guys the same age as Graham who are in the same boat as my boy Graham, who have lost their jobs, and it's all right, people saying, you know, people can make accusations that you're not a Rangers man if you don't spend your money in that, but really, why would you spend?
No go it.
You can't spend money you've no go. I know actually a couple of people who, because they went for the credit agreement and they weren't working, it was hard for them to get it because they were unemployed, you know, and it's going to be hard. You know, there was 9,500 seemingly didn't take the uptake at the start there because of the pandemic, and I'm just wondering, and look, the seats will get filled. It doesn't matter who walks away, the seats will still get filled. But I'm just hoping like Bridgeman says, I mean, if Rangers came to me and said that, you know, as a television thing that, you know, we're going to offer it for, say, £400 or £300, I'd probably take them up on that. But I'm not silly enough to think that me and my boy's going to spend £1,000 a season. And guys like yourself who are spending over £2,000, Docs, here for your seats, and you've got to watch it on the same telly, you know, because you're on the same house, so to speak. And I know that's no Rangers know immediately that everybody's watching the same house because there's 3 or 4 season tickets. But they need to start and maybe looking into it a wee bit more, because I can tell you one thing, what I'm seeing and reading today and what I seen me Nippy on the TV today, this pandemic is going to run into next season, and they're talking about we'll still be wearing masks. And there's no way they're going to allow 50,000 people into Ibrox in August. So Rangers need to get on the ball right away here and try and please the fans.
I read something yesterday that was bizarre about the European Championships, this tournament that Scotland's involved in. Obviously, there's a Scotland-England game at Wembley. And they're saying that your tickets will be valid. Yeah?
For what?
Exactly, for what or how many is going to be valid. That was just yesterday I read that.
What tickets are you talking about?
It's sold out, mate.
What tickets?
The Euro Championship.
The European Championship. Sorry, pal. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be going there anyway. So,
you know, but I'm saying is that's around about June. So they're assuming that. I'm not saying they're assuming there's going to be a full house, but what they're assuming there's going to be punters in there. You know,
I'll tell you now. I agree with JFK. I doubt very, very much. I think the ones that have got that minimal amount of guys going into their ground at the moment, I think that will stop.
There's nowhere in the country get anybody.
They're not doing it. Okay, so you know the ones that brought in the 15,000.
That's all stopped, mate. That's all stopped.
Right. So that's the way. I reckon that will just stay like that, probably until about August, September. That's my honest opinion.
Mm-hmm. All right, okay. All right, so it's interesting to get some people's thoughts out there. So come and join us. The number's 0141 356 1972. Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. We brought in the call with Fox and Old School Blue. Phone in, hang up, and we will phone you back. Then we'll bring you into the conversation. A great point you make there, GFK. You can't spend what you've no got, mate. You know.
Well, that's
it doesn't make you any less a Rangers supporter. People have lost their house and have to start again and kind of go to the game because of other priorities, and then as life moves on, they go back to the game. You know.
It hurts me, Ox, to say that, because it's like you're selling the rest of the guys. It's something. It's part of my life. It's not all of my life, but it's a big part of my life. And to know have that every week. Okay, we're getting it on the TV, but I do miss meeting everybody. But for Rangers to turn into me in 6 weeks' time and say my renewal's there. I mean, like I say, mine is just a rolling renewal, so automatic renews. So for him to turn and having to say, well, I don't want any tickets. And we've discussed that, would we maybe see if somebody wants them for a season. People don't want to take a ticket for a season because people want the ticket. I mean, I had this conversation with my big pal for the drum, and Big Stevie and his boy Jamba, they got season tickets. We know that was fantastic because the big man and his boy travel everywhere. And I was going to offer Big Stevie me and Graham's for the season, but the big man wants a ticket and he wants to be there every second Saturday, and I get that. There's nothing. It's like you don't want to be an Indian giver, and say, well, you can have it just because it suits me. So it's not something I'd be doing, and we're going to have to think long and hard about it. We've got 6 weeks. Do we renew or do we no renew? Is there a chance of getting in? Or no? Does Graham have the money? Of course he has the money, but why should he just throw £500 odd to Rangers when, apart from seeing it in the telly, he's not going to get seen it at all? Because he's working. His job he had to take because of the pandemic means that he's working every Saturday and Sunday. And he's seen 2 games this season, Oxshire. What I mean? He's in the type of job that his gaffer can say to him 2 days before, I can't give you Sunday off. So that's the situation that he's in. So he's unhappy about it. But what can he do? Tell his gaffer to stick it, I'm going to watch your football. You can't do that.
Do you guys think that Rangers would...
I was on a once where a guy came on with his post bag and all that and told his gaffer he was going to the game. It's changed a lot.
I think that was Royal Mail 4th class. That.
Do you guys think that Rangers would consider continuing the scheme that they've got?
I think
and calling it a season ticket for the, shall we say, the elderly, the no well or whatever, and charge them, let's say, half price, whatever. I don't know what price.
See, what gets me is, I mean, Big Al and other guys, James and all them, stay the other end of the world, they're paying half what we pay. And I know what you've said this to me before, Oxford. Most of our away games are on TV. I get that, but your season ticket, yours alone, and it's not the cheapest, it's £700 and odd just for your season ticket alone. But you get less games live than they do, and they pay half what you pay. Less than half. They pay nearly a third what you pay. Now that, to me, if Rangers can do that for the Australians and the Americans and the Canadian Rangers fans, well, why not try and do something here? I want to contribute to Rangers. And if Rangers said,
I don't think it's Rangers that stopped that, mate. I think you'll find that it's the league and the agreements are broadcasting live games that they revisit during the pandemic. And it might be a game changer, JFK. Could be a game changer.
That's what I'm saying. This is where Rangers should maybe be on the ball and go and look at this. Say, can we do this? We can't keep going to the fans every other year and saying full season ticket money. Yeah, I think it was young GB said. I understand. I don't own the seat. I understand that I'm renting the seat, but I don't want to be paying all that money every season when I'm only be able to watch it on the television. Give me a better price to watch on the television. That's all I'm asking for. If that's the case, that's just
I 100% agree with that.
You could have a scenario where you've got, for example, you've got season ticket holders, mid-year TV members, yeah? Just using that as a name, yeah? And that would give them access going forward to... And your season ticket holders can have that, but they'll have to pay a price for it, because you don't get nothing for nothing, unfortunately. But it's always a way that the more loyal you are, the more money they'll take out your pocket, you know. But people, it's been difficult for thousands and thousands of people in the last year, and I think the way that the support's rallied and bought gear and bought stuff at that shop, the queues. I mean, I've never seen the queues live because of the pandemic, but I believe you were there, JFK, and it was in the stadium.
I mean, I went that day and I couldn't believe it. You know, it was going way back to the old days. I stood waiting for a ticket and used Old Edmondson House, but I've never seen that at the Rangers shop for many, many years. And when me and my boy went to the shop in St Enoch's Square, I couldn't believe the queuing at that. And we thought we were smarties and that. Oh, we'll go early, an hour early, and there was a queue. You know, so it's absolutely fantastic. And like everybody else, I want to give my money, and I still continue to give my money, but I just hope that Rangers listen to what fans are saying. You know, I'm probably speaking for a lot of people who are out there and they didn't renew their season ticket because of the money thing. They lost their job. And there's a lot more lost their jobs since last year, Oxy. I know many guys who've been laid off, can't get a job, furloughed up to so long, and then they're just gone. You know, and these guys they struggled to pay last season. Where are they going to pay this season? Because their own universal credits and all that.
You've no got it.
You can't pay what you've no got.
You know, you can't.
These guys you're speaking about that had a season ticket. The club's going to take those season tickets and they're going to resell them again. All I mean is, for each person that has to hand their ticket in, they should be able to speak to them in some way and ask them if, I don't know if it's possible, but ask them if they want a special season ticket for the TV, but TV side only, like they're doing it now, only a lot cheaper.
You can't do that at the moment, mate.
And could you just remind us why that would be?
Basically, the Sky TV.
Aye.
They'll not want live games going up against the other programmes that they've bought. So you would need to wait to that. Let's just say, and I'm being hypothetical here, let's just say they're showing the cricket and you were showing a game live at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Well, their cricket viewings were good done, weren't they? Just people.
Yeah, we're back to the old arguments. Many moons ago, they used to say, if a television comes in, even if you're stopping one person going in to watch a game, it's wrong. So don't let the TV in. That was many years ago.
Society's changed, and TV has got a big part to say in it. And obviously, if you go back a generation, maybe two, every game was 3 o'clock on a Saturday. I remember when you do a Sunday game, became people were like, "What's happening here now?" God's sake, people are playing every night of the week, you know.
Aye. All silly times. 2 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon, 6, 8. It's 4 games in the one day.
Only for TV, mate. Only for TV.
Only for TV, exactly.
Come and join us. Give your thoughts. How you think the club's handled the pandemic? How do you think they've handled in the last year, on and off the park? We're welcome here for you. Everybody's got a story to tell. We don't want to know people's business, but just what you think, how it's went for you, because it's been difficult times for a lot of families, and we do appreciate that. And I think it's a club day, but first and foremost, they're a business, and it's unfortunately there's no sentiment when the Bucks are concerned, Bridgeman, is there?
Absolutely not. And you can phone us on 0141 356 1972. Oops.
Oh, we're right.
Or you can join us on Skype at RangersRadio.online, and the Old School Blue Fox will bring you in and look after you. Come in and enjoy yourself.
I've just done a Bridgeman there. I'm going to bring in Fox. I'm really interested to hear his views. You know, him being a guy, a man of the people, shall we say. Evening, Fox. How we doing, Brocker?
Good evening.
Hey, Fox.
How we doing, mate? What's your views on how things have went? Obviously, this has been unique, isn't it?
Well, the whole world's changed over the last year, and football is no exception to that for me. I think it's time that the authorities that run the game have to rethink things like you're talking about, season tickets, etc., with the TV until this COVID disappears completely. For one, my health's not that great at the moment, but I'll be buying a season ticket whether I can get or no next year, and I will do for as long as I'm alive and kicking. And I'll always make sure that if I can't get myself, I'll find another pensioner that can take my seat. And that's just the way I think. I think Rangers TV has been superb in their coverage this year.
Well said.
Some have had great guests on it. Walter Smith, Graham Thrunis, etc. And the other people that are the backbone of Rangers TV. And I agree a bit, like Bridge says, that there must be a way that they could sit down with TV companies and say, if you're a recognised season ticket holder and you've got legitimate reasons for not being able to attend anymore, that you could carry on with Rangers TV. The TV companies will get their cut of the money out of it, so will Rangers, and Rangers will then be able to sell the tickets that are made available. I mean, something sensible like that. People that can't afford to go to the games, I don't know how they work it, but there must be a way of doing it.
100%.
It'd be interesting to see. I think you've also got to watch. We've got the match day experience of going to the game in the atmosphere. You've also got to look at American baseball when their crowds and when TV really took over. It's a different sport, I know, but they don't get anybody to the big games. You know, the stadiums are empty. Obviously, they play loads and loads of matches. Anyway, we'll be joined by Gary. Evening, Gary.
How we doing, Ox? How we doing, guys? Okay?
Hi, Gary.
What's on your mind,
Good
mate?
stuff. I just heard you chatting there. I thought I'd get involved. The world's been changing for, as we know, with social media and instant access to internet, TV. I think over the next 3 to 5 years, what you haven't touched on is something that I'm heavily involved in, and I'm probably more inclined to see what's coming. But in the next 3 to 5 years, virtual reality is going to really kick in as well. I know it's probably maybe off subject, but it's something that people need to be aware of is actually virtually going to a game. Putting on a headset and being able to watch the football as if you're there in full HD.
So I could
looking
be sitting in the house and I could have Fox gibbering in my ear.
Potentially, yeah, you could turn round. So what they're looking at the moment, Facebook's pioneering it, right. Where you can go to the game and you can sit with your mate and you see his avatar, if you like, what his digital self sitting next to you, and you're having a conversation, talking to each other, whilst at Ibrox, sitting in your seats, but you're sitting in your front room and you're watching the game of football in front of you. Now, it's hard for people to get their heads around that at the moment, but the technology's, honestly, it's moving rapidly. And I reckon within the next 5 years, it will be like stepping inside the Matrix. I've just bought some new headsets recently from a centre, and it's 2 4K screens. So the wee TV screens are only 2.5 inch each, and it's half an inch away from your eyeball, and there's 8 million pixels in each screen. So it's ultra clear. So where's that going to be in another 5 years' time? And it will be like going to the game, and you'll be able to see your mate in full 3D.
Yeah, well, that's what I don't doubt for a minute, mate. It's going to happen, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, but
I just wanted to put my 2 bob in, but yeah.
By the time that comes in, I'll be like Uncle Albert and Only Fools and Horses. My head'll be in one of the big watery bowls. The future. No, I'm no laughing at you, Gary, but I just don't see that happening, mate. I just don't see how that virtual TV is. It's no winning be for me anyway. Maybe that's because of my age, my generation, but it's not something I would buy into. I
think it's It'll never. I always say to people, because one of the things I offer in my place is virtual tourism, so you can travel the world and go anywhere you want and stand there and be in street view. So you put the headset on, you're standing at the bottom of the Eiffel Tower or whatever, right? It'll never ever replace normal tourism. The same as going to a game. It'll never replace that. But it's just, imagine an older guy who, you're talking in 10 years' time, right? But an older guy in an old folks' home who can't go out anymore, but he can still go to the game and feel that he's at the game. So that's kind of where it's going to go down. People that live in Australia.
Could he be viewing that? Could he be viewing that for his seat that he's always sat in?
I think potentially, yeah, in the future that will be a possibility.
Okay. Because, I mean, there might be better views in the stadium for certain guys. Like Bridgman sits in his seat and he's behind the goal. Arguably, there's better views in the stadium, but that's Bridgman's seat and he loves the view for there, so that would be maybe his choice to view the match for. If as a substitute, Bridge.
100%, yeah, and just what he's talking about the virtual stuff, you could, in fact, if you're lucky, if you've got the facilities, you could do just what you said there, Oxia. You could get it set up to there's your old seat number, and it goes and gets whatever technologies at Ibrox it picks up. What is the view for that seat, and let it go, and that's it permanently. And it's all going to get beamed to it. It's just brilliant. Brilliant ideas. Whether it ever gets that far or no, I don't know, but brilliant ideas.
You go and buy a new kitchen, mate. You end up with a virtual 3D or 4D, whatever it is.
Absolutely, pal. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. No, all of that stuff, like, you're talking about massive amounts of comms going through Ibrox. And the first time they tried to do the new network, it collapsed on us. So, interesting to see. But very exciting.
The city of 5G, maybe even 6G, if that's possible.
Very exciting, Oxia. Very exciting. Just the thought of you be able to sit at home and watch my big 65-inch television with the Rangers on it live. Yeah, beauty. I'm in. Whatever it is, I'm in.
You wouldn't have to phone that, mate. You would have the headgear on and you would have the view, a panorama view. Am I right, Gary? Like you were at the stadium.
That's correct. That's what I'm looking for.
Exactly. Yeah. At the moment, you get.
So, Gary, would this be coming through your house?
Let's cut the crap, Gary. If you get this deal, are we going to get it for nothing, us boys on here?
Definitely.
All right, that's right. AFK were sorted.
If I was to get that deal, I wouldn't have to worry about money ever again.
Gary would be the most popular guy in football.
Listen, guys. It's hard to foresight the future, obviously, right? But if we go back to take anything, pick any bit of technology, right? The mobile phone. What it does now compared to what it did 20 years ago, right? And how small it is now. Take the TV.
The wheels no changed.
What's that?
The wheels no changed.
No, some things don't have to do, but they become more efficient. But my point is that whether people are on board with it or not, virtual reality is going to touch every single industry. It doesn't matter if it's sport, movies. I think, me personally, I'm involved. When I tried virtual reality for the first time 3 years ago, it melted my head. I was like, this is Star Trek technology here today. And if you haven't tried it and you don't know what I'm talking about, it is nuts at the high end, right? And I was like, I need to start a business in this because I've always had an itch to start a business, but nothing that's ever gave me the itch I want to scratch. So when I tried virtual reality for the first time, I need to be in this industry because it's going to be like the mobile phone boom. It's going to be like the .com boom with the PCs. This is the next big thing.
So Gary, can I just come in there? Are you saying there that what you're predicting here is that like football stadiums will be empty basically, and everybody will be sitting in the house watching it?
There'll be people sitting in the stadium, and you'll be able to get the view for your seat as if you were sitting there, even though there's somebody else sitting in it. So you'll have, Nothing will ever replace
going to the game, right? Because real life is real life, right? So nothing will ever replace that. But the world will move on. Do you know what I mean? If you take it back and forget about the football club for a minute and just the sport of football. Football has changed drastically in the last 20 years. Like when I grew up, I'm an 80s boy, so I was born in 81, right? So I'm a pup, really, compared to some of you guys. But when I was growing up, I remember going out and playing football for 7 hours, 8 hours, and 20 a side, and playing 10, 21ers, and, having to ask, can I get a game? That doesn't exist nowadays. The only way kids play football now is organised team games, like going along to football training. They don't really... They're doing here anyway.
No, they don't.
Right? So football's changed. Now, I personally think at the professional end, at the pointy end of the stick, the Premier League, the SPFL, in the future, in 20 years' time, that's going to change as well. And I think involved in that change is going to be technology. Look at VAR coming in. That'll still be there in 20 years' time, but it'll be vastly different from now. Do you know what I mean? And the big, massive headsets that you see now, the big...
It'll become smaller, aye. Become smaller, aye.
Aye. No, but...
See, can I come in again? See, I mean, my two boys are into the PS4s and the Xboxes and that. They've all the latest ones, and no, my God, it's some of the games that they're playing. But when 3D television was out, Gary, when it became a big thing, I bought into it and I went out and bought a 3D telly and all the glasses. And I tell you, it was the biggest load of keek in all my life. It was sore in the eyes. There was no enjoyment in it, sitting with a pair of glasses on, sitting with the family trying to watch it in 3D. Somebody says, watch Avatar in 3D. What a load of diarrhea it was, mate. So I'm not saying you're talking diarrhea, but what I'm saying is I can't see it taking off in the next 100 years, never mind in the next 20 years. No chance.
I think, as I say, it's 3D TV never take off because it doesn't improve your ability that much.
Bob Jer's joined us. That should be good.
Bob Jer. How you doing, boys? All right. I'm just listening to the conversation here.
You get it all.
I'm listening to the conversation here. Absolutely brilliant, as usual. But Gary, I'm not being insulting, son. I'm one of the old heads, a right old head. And what I want to do is drive up with my motor, get out, put my coat on, my scarf on, walk round to the back of that broom lawn stand with my ticket, go through the turnstile, go and get halfway up, right, get my bovril, on the way, burn my fingers to hell on the way, sit under on a cold, wet day with the pissing rain on me, watching the Jets come out, run up the park, square it across the box, and then the centre forward 6 in the back of the net, and I jump for joy. That's what I want. That to me is basically the football. I take your point, buddy. Technology to me, and like a lot of people, it's convenient and you can't live without it, and on it'll march on and on and on. But to me, like Bridgman says there, it's totally soulless. It's soulless.
Here's a question, Bob. Here's a question for you, Bob. Right? Question, right? So when we're playing at Ibrox on a Saturday, there's 50,000 there, yeah?
Yeah.
How many people do you think are watching that actual game? No way technology.
Are watching the game?
Aye.
And what platforms you mean?
Aye.
Well, do you mean does everybody sitting looking at is a certain percentage sitting looking at a mobile phone, looking at Facebook?
There's 50,000 watching it in the ground. But how many?
In the ground, aye. How many? Aye. Yeah. Oh God. I mean, all that's uncountable. Forget who'll be watching the Rangers around the world. And the facility there through Rangers TV and then Sky TV, and it's been there for a long time. It's gave the whole world access to it, just like it's gave to every club.
So
what worries me? Sorry.
Let's just say it's 250,000 an average home game.
Easy.
I'm just plucking that number out, JFK.
I would say you're very conservative with that, mate.
Aye, it's unusual for me to be called that.
I know.
So we pop that number, double it then, say 500,000, yeah? And that's the number of people that are watching it all over the world. And if that then improves their viewing figures, and I'm talking about Gary saying 20 years' time, that people will be able to watch that with even better quality and even watch guys running after the ball that they can't do this now because you're limited to what you're watching on the telly. Yeah? You know,
Rangers approved that by allowing us access to Rangers TV Yorkshire, how good it is. The quality is second to none. Right, Disney breakdown. We've got pundits on before.
I don't think Gary's just talking about watching the football. What he's saying at live events, or sporting events, Grand Prix, cricket, whatever.
Nah, well that's
everything will change.
Well, Grand Prix no sport anyway. It's electric.
Guys, how much does a ticket to the heavyweight boxing cost you for a title fight? 40, 50 grand, 60 grand?
Well,
60 grand.
Well, aye. So, but in VR,
I'd be wanting to fight on myself.
But you can experience a bit of that because it's not there yet. You can do that. You can go and sit front row for the UFC this weekend if you want in VR and pay for it. It's no great at the moment, but it's the technologies in its very infancy at the moment. At the moment, we're in Atari, where the Atari was, whereas now we're in PlayStation 5. So we've still got a long way to go, but what I'm saying is we're going to get there. But what I was going to say was the technology with virtual reality is going to get so small, so light, and so powerful, it'll be like taking a pair of swimming goggles out your pocket and putting them on. And you could do that at the game. So you could turn around and say, I want to see that VAR decision. And you put the goggles on and it'll show you, and then you take them back off the same way as you take your phone out and you check the scores. You know? The world's going to change.
What you're saying, when JFK goes Saint-Tropez or the south of France, when he goes his usual annual holidays, when things go back to normal, and he's there and he's having a swim and he has a dip. There's a game on Ibrox at the start of the season, and he's there and he just puts these wee things on when he's lying on the beach, and he'll be able to get a 6G connection and watch the game. Yeah.
Precisely, watch it for anywhere and it'll be like you're there.
Right, okay.
Well, I'll make a prediction. Everybody who's listening here and in the lobby, you'll all be dead and gone by the time this works, guys.
Oh, wait a minute. What about us youngins?
Look, virtual TV is good for some things, right? I agree with that, right? Because my two boys have dabbled a wee bit and looked at it, right? But as far as football and other sports are concerned, you know, no, for me, I know it's the technology they're talking about. What would it cost you? Maybe £1,000 for a box to bring it in. But I don't know. I mean, to me, it's a lot of tosh. No disrespect to you, Gary, but to me, stay off the funny fags, mate.
Who would have thought that when we were growing up that you would have all these channels on the telly and be able to watch all this football live, pause it, go to the toilet, come back and watch the game?
And it was all on your phone.
Who would have thought that?
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been joined by George. Evening, George. Evening, George. Come on, George. Last call for George. Oh, he's dropped it.
His virtual reality box just crashed on him.
You know, Jimmy, when you think about it, things have changed dramatically. You know, Bob, in you come.
Oh, they've changed dramatically, all right. Christ, I'm sitting here in front of a computer like everybody else does these days. As I say, I'm not a big fan of technology. And like I previously said there, to me it's soulless. I think my generation, I'm not going to say your generation, Ox, because you keep reminding us how young you are. Well, we're like a crossover generation. There's a lot of people who can't handle it. I know, pal. There's a lot of people who can't handle it, and it's going to roll into Gary's generation, like you say, where they've been brought up with it. They can totally live with it. I just like the basics in life. Like I said, getting into the Broomlow, sitting down, watching the team coming out and playing. And it would be like that at every other sporting event that I attended. I'm sorry, just the basic thing with my own two eyes. Watch it for what it is. Hey, I'm glad that you know the advantage of technology. I'm glad at this present time for to be able to watch Rangers TV and watch the team as I've done all season due to the pandemic. But it worries me and all, like you're previously saying, that I'm looking at all these stadiums, even like Celtic, like Manchester United, like Liverpool, like the whole Lawyers at the moment, they're empty. And you know we must get around this, get the supporters back in, and get a bit of normality, get a bit of atmosphere going in the game again.
Bob Jer, can I ask you a question, pal?
Yes, of course
we're
you
not
can.
talking here. What you're reading and seeing on TV and things like that. In your estimation, do you feel we'll get into the grounds for next season?
Next season, right? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I listened to what she was saying today, and I didn't see the supporters being let into the ground anytime soon. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the start of next year. Or I don't know, you can't put a figure on it. I couldn't say. I don't think
it's too early to tell. It's too early to tell. We need to see what the results of this vaccine are. If the numbers
that's right. That's right. There's that many theories. Getting bounced about. You don't know what the answer is. So, but in my opinion, I don't think the supporters will be back in at the start of the season. Have a day, it'll be a very minuscule number, like they were trying during England. They'll be like 55,000 in Ibrox or anything like that.
Yeah,
there'll be a minuscule number.
Bob J, remember?
Hello.
I'll cut across you, Bridge. We've got No, it's all right. We'll come back to Bob J, since he's the most intelligent man on the panel tonight. Evening caller. How are we doing?
Hello.
Hello, how you doing? What's your name, mate?
Stuart.
How we doing, Stuart? What's on your mind, mate?
I just want to give you guys a wee bit of praise. I'm buzzing for 55.
You're here, mate.
I'm absolutely buzzing for it. But I've only been on Facebook for a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on it so I could go onto the follow website.
Right. Okay.
And that's where I've fund Rangers Radio.
All right.
So
okay.
I've been listening to you for the last 2 months. And I'm telling my old mate, he's 63. I'm 58, by the way.
All right.
I'm telling my old mate, Ian, it's the best. I sit with a couple of cans of export, and to me, it's like sitting in the pub with your mates. We're all talking about the Rangers, and we're all buzzing. And I tell you, the characteristics, a lot of the boys that are on it are similar to the boys that we know. So I've got him into listening to you, and as I say, it's the best 2 hours of the night for me and the new boys.
Listen,
well said.
I'm going to bring Fox.
Well done, sir.
Fox is the architect of Rangers Radio, along with Old School Blue. And one of Fox's aims when we started this was to have it so that it would be guys, it came across as if we were mates sitting in a pub with people coming on. Fox, I'm going to bring you in to accept that compliment, mate, because that's something you've worked at, mate.
Thanks very much, Stuart. That is the way that the boys in the background and those on the panel hope it comes over. It's a forum that anybody can phone in and put their opinions in, same as sitting in the pub, mate.
Aye, well, that's just that. It's so similar to sitting in the pub with your mates and you've got a wee beer, and it's brilliant. But as I say, guys, I'm absolutely buzzing for 55. I've got the wee tune I've come for. We've all got my plans for big open air thing, COVID allowing, but it's got to be brilliant.
Yes,
it's going to be brilliant. I've got 2 wee grandsons.
Right.
One's 14. One's only he was only 3 years old when we last won it, and they're absolutely buzzing, the 2 of them. And I want to get.
If you want to give them a shout out, give them a shout out.
Oh, right, wee Joey and Reese. Reese plays for Galston, Joey plays for a couple of teams.
Are you in Galston?
No, I'm in Dalry, but one of my grandsons, he plays for Galston.
Oh, I've got a lot of good friends.
Oh, good place, Dalry, Stuart.
And the boys are, aye. Oh, a good blue nose tune.
Aye, I was in a Partick Protestant boys flute band and we walked with Dalry a few years.
That right, good.
Aye,
I could start mentioning names, but we'll be here all night. But listen, guys, as I say, you make my night. I'm in a caravan in my daughter's garden. I've been here for last March.
Right.
So it's nice and comfy, and as I say, a couple of cans of export and listen to you guys for a couple of hours. It's brilliant.
What more can we say, JFK? Sounds a perfect evening, doesn't it?
Well,
I'm
right,
going to.
Stuart, she's trying to get rid of me. I'm just wondering what that caravan brochure was all about. Do I know?
Here, it's easy. It's easy. You got a big smile on your face the whole night, anyway.
Brilliant, mate.
Brilliant.
Your sentiment, mate, yeah?
Okay, guys.
2 dogs listening to Rangers Radio?
Eh?
Have you been got 2 dogs listening to Rangers Radio? Well, there you go.
There you go. Good stuff, lad. Anyway, right, guys, I just thought you were due that.
Cheers, Stuart. Brilliant, mate.
Cheers
now, guys. All the best. We are the people.
Take care, mate.
Bye.
Yeah.
Brilliant, Stuart. Cheers.
Good call.
There you go, boys. Bit of a compliment to you, sir.
Yeah.
The only difference is there's no right hooks and left hooks. We were sitting round the pub
I know.
Right, okay, we've reached that time of the evening. Get yourself in mute, and we're going to have a tune for the old school blue.
From Argyle, so young, to Glasgow City, they come, seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags, sing with your heart and voice, celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. Start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers are born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. To start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, are still going strong. 54 titles, we're still going strong.
54 titles and still going strong. Do-do-do-do-do. Well done, boys. Marvellous.
Hopefully we'll be changing the lyrics, Bob, yeah.
Hello,
Yes,
I've just been away for a couple of minutes. 55, right, absolutely. What was the question?
Nothing, mate. It's
just she's talking to her wife. I mean, there, and she's playing computer bingo. She says, "I've got a house." I said, "Well, hurry up and move into it then."
Well, Bob said if you're going to come on here, you can't talk to the wife at the same time, mate. It's not allowed.
Oh, well, that's it, pal. That's a rule I've learned. That's one of the rules of Rangers Radio. You can't talk to the wife.
All right, I'm going to bring. Somebody's got the show in the background. I think it's George. George.
Hello.
No, Bob, I know you, mate. George.
You can't talk to the wife. I've no good thing, mate, pal. I've got everything protocol there. I've no.
No, you, Bob. Just you. All right. Oh, I've lost George. I don't know. He's got the show and he can't hear us.
All right.
Ox.
Yes, mate.
Ox, can I just say computer bingo? That'll never take off, will it?
No.
Oh.
Now, another thing about this technology, you never think that there would be guys sitting around all over the world talking about the Rangers. That'll never take off with modern technology, will it? Every night.
No.
Between 8 and 10, you know.
No, it's incredible.
Right, Foxy's coming in, wise man. In we come, Foxy boy.
No, I was just going to say when you were talking about technology, mate, 10 years ago I didn't know what a computer was, but with the help of my pal and people like Terry in the background, I've managed to learn myself a wee bit about the computer, and I can see technology, as Gary was saying, taking off immensely. I think it will change football, and it'll not be as long as 20 years on, Jimmy, for me. I think the next 10 years it'll be absolutely tremendous, the changes that will come here.
I agree with you that, Fox. But I just don't see us all sitting round the telly or with these big stupid goggle things on. I don't see that.
Like that.
Oh, my mate
No.
Hold on. My mate Alec watches the football in virtual reality now. I don't know how he does it, but he says that he watches his feed for the football through these virtual reality goggles and swears it's absolutely tremendous.
Okay, we've been joined by the global ambassador. Evening, big man.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Good evening.
All right, Al.
All right, man. All right. Aye,
everybody be safe in your world.
Oh, aye, we're fine here, man. We're fine here, aye. It's just a pity back home, right enough. But I hope you're all staying safe and that. And as soon as we get this virtual reality, we better save my knees. You've got a bit of porn on it. Save my knees. I'm getting too old now, you know what I mean?
No, big man, so, keep it clean. It's a family show.
Aye, it's a family show. Aye. Well, the young team can play their games on it, but for us older boys,
we can play our games on it.
We can play our games on it, aye. No, I was listening there, and I've not phoned in for a wee while, but I was just to wish that guy in the caravan with his 2 cans of export all the best, brother. I'm in the Australian lounge, having a schooner.
Yeah, mate.
You raise a glass up and don't be a stranger. I hope your party goes well.
Who would think, Big Al, that because of this, what we do on here, and you're near enough as far away in the world as possible for the UK, right. Pretty much, give or take. Right, and then you've appeared, and we're all in the tune, and you appear, and you meet everybody. Who would have thought?
No, I stumbled across you. I was on the bus one morning going to my work. I got off the train, and I don't know how it was. Just I googled something about Rangers, and I seen this Rangers Radio, and I remember it was you. Sorry, the first voice I heard was the old man's there, Bridgman. That was the first voice I heard. Then it was Fox, and it was yourself. And then I'm like, oh, this sounds good. And a week or two later, I think I got the balls to phone these in, and it's been great ever since. And I think a lot of guys, that's their story. They might be a wee bit scared to phone in, but maybe times like this when you need somebody, just phone in. You've got Jimmy there, you've got Big Stevie, you've got yourself, you've got Fox, you've got the Bridgeman, you've had regulars in the past that you never hear from now, but they might pop up in the future. So
people come and go. Life's like that. I want it.
Oh, aye, but I think you could phone up any time. If I never phoned you for 2 years, I reckon I could phone you and you're just starting again, aren't you? As if I phoned you last week. So I would recommend it. And all the boys that are sitting there listening to it, if you don't want to come on and chat for a long time, just come on, introduce yourself, and it's great to know there's a boy in Dalry in a caravan drinking 2 cans of export. Put a picture in my head. So, go on yourself, buddy. Go on yourself, mate.
Can I just jump in there a wee sec?
There you go, JFK.
Is Gary still there?
He's dropped
Look, I'll just go, guys, because I've got a delivery coming this morning, so I will just take 5 minutes. I just wanted to say that.
Before you go, big man, the strange thing was when that Saturday we were all watching live music and people parading. It felt when you bumped into people, you feel as if you know them, mate, bizarrely, and you don't.
Well, that's the thing. They say don't meet your heroes, and I had a totally different picture. Jimmy, I had kind of no bad, but yourself, no, he was a big slut.
I bet I was a disappointment. I bet you were just like a big.
No, you were
yourself.
He had me about 8 inches taller, I think.
But enough 2 foot taller, I think I had you.
No, you were just a way with me, pal.
Well, yeah, thanks very much, mate. No, that's great. I'd like to hear Rudy soon. I'd like to hear Parahandy if he's out in the high seas. Get him phoning back in. Good characters.
We've not heard from Rudy, and we hope he's safe. We hope, first and foremost, he's safe and everything as well. Travel Rock obviously goes away for a bit at a time when he's working, mate, and he's always welcome on the show. He's one of our stalwarts. So is Rudy, mate. Great guys.
Great guys, These are all good guys, and he's doing an excellent job. Look, I need to go because I can see the security guard. He's panicking here at the gates.
All right.
I need to go and sort something out, man. Right. Cheers. No, you take it easy and great show. 55 will soon be here, boys. Be here.
Cheers, buddy.
It's Fox there then. It's Fox. I've been sitting listening to Big Gary and things like that. So I've typed in something. I didn't know this, guys, right? So, I'm good on technology. I've been on computers for about 25, 30 years now, doing different things way back. But I didn't know that Sky actually have a virtual reality app. And I've just noticed Sky's thing. And I don't use my Sky Go thing and all that. Maybe Terry, if he's in the background, he'll maybe say something in the chat. There's a thing called the Sky VR app that I can download on the Oculus store for Samsung Gear VR, whatever that means, Oculus Go. And it says here, you need to sign into your Sky ID if you're on Sky. You need to be a Sky VIP customer, which I am. And it says once I'm in that, I can go and I can watch all the sport that they provide in virtual reality. I didn't know that.
Well, it's already here then, Jimmy. Is that what you're saying?
Well, hey, Fox, I'm there to be shot down, but I didn't know. It's called an Oculus Rift headset.
Yes, an Oculus headset is put it in, Terry. Just put it in.
Can I come in there a minute?
Yes, you can, Mr.
Is this the same JFK that was slagging the guy for talking about VR?
No. It's not something.
Done,
no. Okay, right. I mean, I still don't see it. I mean, Gary's the first guy I've ever heard speak about it.
There you go.
I've never heard anybody, all the people I know watch the Fitbit, they complain we don't even get Scottish Fitbit on the Ultra HD on Sky. But every other game you can click on the Sky button and you get it in Ultra HD, which is a fantastic picture. But you don't get it for any Scottish Fitbit. I've already sent a couple of emails to Sky about that because I think that's terrible. I pay the same money as the people down south and they get all their English games in Ultra HD. But I'm there to be shot down. But I didn't know that there was a Sky virtual reality because I've never been on Sky.
I think it's fantastic. You can back on. You did a look up. You can back on and say they've already got it in Sky. I don't mean that you can just go and use it right now because you obviously need to know what you're doing. But it's just fantastic. Well done, Jimmy. Well done.
I didn't know that. There you go.
Every day's a school.
Gary, you phone in again. Sorry, pal. I know you're knowing the funny fags now.
You're a shocker, Jimmy. You're a shocker.
A shocker, mate. But hey,
every day's a school day. Yeah?
I'm quite happy to put my hand up and say I was rang.
Oh, you get used to it, mate. It happened to me once, 1983, mate. It's so
listen to that.
Gary's back ways. There we go. He's back in.
He's just in for his apology.
Just had to give you tight. All right, Gary. Right, you hear what I said there, aye?
I heard a bit at JFK. Guys, I just want to clarify for JFK and other. I'm not saying this is going to replace everything. You've got to remember, football existed before radio, so people used to go and watch the football, and then the radio came in, and then they used to be able to listen on the radio, and then lots of people listened to it on the radio that couldn't make the game, and then telly came in, and everybody went, "I'm not watching it on the telly."
Look, it was black and white telly, JFK.
I remember when I used to have to put a shilling in the metering for my telly.
Carry on, guys. Carry on.
So basically, telly slowly took over for radio. I'd imagine when TV first came out, people would say, I don't like watching it on the telly. I prefer it on the radio because it's better. I don't know. You know what I mean? And then slowly TV took over. I'm saying that this is a new medium that people are going to use to watch it. And slowly but surely, people over the next 10 to 15 years, maybe even sooner, nobody knows, nobody can put their finger on it, but slowly over time, people are going to move away from watching it on telly to watching it in virtual reality because it's a better quality service. That's what
I'm going to have a word with Mr. Old School Blue. This is a family show. That's all I'm saying. This is a family show. The stuff that he's sending us. Right.
That's good as well, by the way.
Right, okay. We'll just leave it like that, yeah?
Gary, if I wanted to watch virtual TV right now with this Oculus headset, what is the platform I need to use? I can't watch it on my TV, can I?
No, so I'll be honest with you, it's not something I do at the moment because I think virtual reality is better used doing other things at the moment, right? So, but I can see the potential in it. But there is an app that you can use, and it's on the Oculus
I see
system.
That, aye.
So you would need an Oculus headset, all right? Yep. But I'll be honest with you, JFK, if you were to use that today, you'd go, that's a lot of rubbish, because it's no great. It's all right, but it's no great. But I'm thinking, what's it going to be like in another 5 years' time? Honestly, the technology is going to move on and on.
Yeah, okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Apologies for my rant earlier on. Okay.
No, bro, listen, mate, listen.
All right.
You come on, you put yourself out there and take it, mate. You don't shrink away, and when you're rang, you're rang.
Correct.
Everybody, you know.
Jimmy, is it a Samsung television you've got?
Wait a minute, Bob J's coming.
Oh, sorry.
Just wait a minute. One at a time. Bob J.
Hello. Is the young man still there, is it? Gary, is he still there?
He's going back just for you, Bob.
Yeah.
All right, I'd like to ask him a question. This might sound a bit far-fetched, then again it might not. Do you think it's going to be, with the march of technology, I mean, again, I'm not technical, but I'll ask this. With the march of technology, do you actually think that in the future, when you get every player's ability or his weight or his height or his ability or anything like that, it'll be technologically possible to see what the score of a game will be before they actually play it? There you go, there's one for you. There you go. Before they actually play it. Is this how ridiculous this is going to go?
No, I think...
I would like to think so, eh?
No, you always...
There wouldn't be any point to it then. Imagine us playing the Tins and Saturday. Oh, we're going to beat them 4-1. Brilliant.
See on that, Bob, I think it'll be possible that, say, James Tavernier had some sort of device on him. You will see that you could be able to switch it and see what he sees as the ball comes to him and where he plays it to. I think you'll be able to see that as an individual player.
You can't the point I'm making is how far does this go? Eh?
No, it's 300 quid for a headset.
Well, it's not getting anywhere with me anyway.
That's cheap, Jimmy.
Right. Jimmy, is it a Samsung television you've got, Jimmy?
I'm going to say this once more and I'll drop you off. One at a time.
Who said my name?
This is the Vodafone voicemail service
me, Jimmy.
for 07766 831 344.
Oh, sorry. Right. GFK, then Bridge. One at a time.
It's a Panasonic 70-inch, mate.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Big bumper.
The reason I was asking, Jimmy, was because when you mentioned a link, you mentioned Samsung.
So that's a Samsung VR. It's called today.
Yeah, okay, so I was just wondering if it was a Samsung telly. The app might be available to you under the Samsung store or something.
All right, let me just take this caller. Let me take this caller.
Right.
On you go. Hurry up before we bring a caller in. Yes?
Jimmy, it doesn't matter about your TV. You're watching it through a set of goggles on your head.
The TV becomes irrelevant. Becomes redundant.
No.
But what's the platform you're taking it off? Are you taking it off an Xbox, or is it the TV, or what is it you're taking it off? I
think it must come through your router, Jimmy.
That's what I'm asking. So is it through the is it Xbox, PlayStation that's giving you the platform?
No. So I'll very, very quickly, Ox, because I know you'll want to move on quickly, but the Oculus systems now are standalone, so it's literally just a headset. And inside the headset, you can choose with your hands. You can point and click using your virtual hands what you want to watch. So you can click, I want to watch the telly, or the VR football, and it'll pop up and you'll be there. So it's standalone inside the headset already. Whereas 3 years ago, you needed a full PC, which had a cable coming out, and that still exists now. But they've done it. I know. But Facebook basically have managed to reduce it down to just a headset, so there's no cables or anything like that anymore.
Right. Okay. Cheers, mate. Thanks for all that. There you go, JFK. Every day's a school day. We've been joined by Jim 115.
Hello, is this Curry's or is it Stepek?
Stepek. Oh, there's a name.
Aye, that's the ones in the Jimmy. You'll remember that with a 10 bob in the back of the telly, mate.
I remember it well. DER. DER.
I was going to say that. I didn't want to say that, but yeah, I thought I was listening to Curry's know-how or something, and he's called
kind of wine I used to... VAR, that's kind of wine I used to drink.
Is there no football going on this week now?
No, really, mate. Not really.
No.
I don't know how we go on that. We go on that for... We started that for how the club were doing after the park during the pandemic. We go on to Rangers TV and it just exploded for that. Just shows you don't know where you're going.
Man.
How are you, mate? All right?
No bad. Just one of the weeks I was thinking about the line-up for this Saturday against this Ross County mob.
Well, I don't think there'll be drastic changes. If you were picking the team on forum, my personal opinion, there's a few after Sunday we would be struggling for a start. I thought Kent in the second half was abysmal. I thought Hadji didn't have the greatest game, and Aribo, but the two fullbacks weren't great neither. So I could see a couple of changes, but it depends who's fit for us, Jim.
I don't know if we're really going to personnel now to change it to any great deal.
JFK.
Well, we are fielding Jack still being injured. I don't see him being able to change much in there, And if you're talking about taking Kent out of the equation, you thinking of bringing Barker in? I don't know. I mean, I would go with the same team. I agree with what you're saying there, Oxshire. As I said at the start of the show, the first half was poor. Kent was poor. The man of the match for me, just shaded it, was Captain Davis, Sir Stephen. But apart from that, I wouldn't change it too much. I can't see him. I think he's got the personnel with Kent, with Jack and Arfield, and obviously Mike Katic and Roof as well.
Hopefully, we start to see some of them, maybe one or two of them back on the bench, Jim.
Aye. Hopefully, see Roof or Jack. But again, Jack's one that seems to be getting as a wee kind of, he's nearly there. He should have been in this week, man. Hopefully, get some time at the weekend. Again, Roof, hopefully they're talking about getting him back midweek. Again, interesting to see. But I'd like to see bringing in a couple of faces to try and freshen things up in it.
It'd be interesting to see if they can make a deal for this boy right. Obviously you've got all the rumours, but the club...
They seem to be talking about some guy Davis for Preston and all now. They reckon are kind of pre-contact. Well, they put some... Super duper deal in. Just a couple of minutes ago.
Was that, sorry?
I'll cut across you. We've got Dell, you've got the background, the showing in the background. Can you turn it off, mate?
That's it off now, buddy. Sorry. It jumped in dead quick.
No, mate. They call it premature, mate. The hamster's off.
I can't even get to that stage, mate. Sorry. I want to do a wee anti-technology speech because I was listening to that conversation. Honestly, mate, what I view as a platform and what they view as a platform, they're not the same thing. They're completely different. But anyway, it was to take me back to why I phoned in, because it's a small world. But right. I don't know if you remember last week I phoned in about John Kitey McPherson.
Yes.
And I couldn't work out why he was Kitey, so I was Googling. But unbeknown to me, my boy who'd heard me on the show was talking to his mate, whose ma works as a volunteer with the Panopticon. You know, that theatre up in the fun up in the Trongate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sort of old music hall thing. And
somebody's got a telly or a show on. Can you go and mute or turn it off, please? We don't know who it is, but can somebody turn it off or go and mute with your phones? Carry on, Dale.
Aye, so anyway, she's into this sort of history of these old music halls. So apparently in 1905, professional whistler Kitey McPherson, now I don't know if it's the same guy, but what he had was sort of this, as he whistled, there was things above his head that danced like butterflies and all that, and he made this music hall act at it. But they didn't want to call him Butterfly Man, so they said that these were kites that he was controlling, a wee bit like the Pied Piper or something like that, you know, and they were all dancing above his head. And I don't know if it's the same guy, but I'm just thinking that's what your entertainment was in 1905, and we've got guys talking about living, you know, with an iPad in front of your face or something like that.
Pretty much, mate. Pretty much. You put a pair of glasses on and you'd be able to fly books. That's pretty much what Gary's talking about, mate. I mean, he's not talking about the next week, but what he's saying is in the future you'll put a pair of glasses on.
No, I'm not saying that, Ox. I'm just saying how far we've come from what was entertainment then to what's entertainment now. It was just the fact that they were talking about technology, and I'd never had that. I know it's the future and blah, blah, blah. I don't have long for that, but it's just amazing to think.
Listen, you're part of it, mate. You phoned an internet show that's appeared like a lot of things in the last, maybe say, decade. We've just had a guy on for Australia, and where he is in Australia, he's pretty much as far away from the UK as you can get. I know there's some places like New Zealand's further away, etc., but he's up there. He's miles away. He's listening to us. He's sitting and listening to us live. We've got 12 guys sitting here chatting on one call. The technology's just changed so quickly in a short space of time, and I think that's the point Gary's trying to make, that things are evolving rapidly. Before the pandemic, in industry, they were talking about the fourth industrial revolution. Some of the stuff I've seen in my day job would frighten you, but it's coming with robots and technology. It's frightening what they can do. We've been joined by George EK, who's looking for a robot to help him out in the house. How we doing, George?
All right, lads. I just want to know, is Gary still there?
Aye, still here, mate.
Gary, will you get virtual polis?
Virtual sofas.
Virtual COVID. A virtual leathering.
Virtual sofa.
Charlie 6 polis.
I'll tell you a funny story. There was we had I run a business, so I started a VR centre down here, and we had an over 60s adventure club book in to come in, and this is before COVID kicked off. And some of them are really sceptical because it's technology and all that, but the woman that runs it says we want to do something different. So I brought them in. They had a couple of hours with us, and they paid for a whole party. And there was 15 of them in total, and every single one of them left with a totally different view of what they perceived it was going to be, because I had them inside a boxing game and they were knocking lumps at each other inside virtual reality and having a right laugh, because you can see each other in the virtual world and you're both boxing and fighting and scrapping, and it's brilliant fun, and they didn't think it was going to be like that. They climbed Mount Everest, they went to the moon with the Apollo 11 mission, and this was all done in very, very ultra realistic. Say that again.
Gary, do you get the chicken dippers in it?
Check the Oxshire, a wee bit of breaking news.
Yes, mate, on you go.
Oliver and Cham has been tested positive, and his flatmate is Edward, who's got to miss the game as well.
Oh my God!
Oh dear.
Well,
Yeah, never mind that, Barbie. Yeah, Barbie. Wait to see this Livingston mob the more. They'll do up half their team with this semi-final at the weekend.
They were talking about it tonight.
Certainty.
Who cares anyway?
That's their business, mate. We can't get involved in that. We should do the semi-final of the weekend, mate.
Yeah, you know we could, aye.
You know. But we've no, so we just have to take it. Look, that's their business, what they do. Obviously, they get around about them on that pitch, so they'll end up with practically the same team I've had in the last couple of weeks. Well, you can't help bad luck, can you? They said it must have been him because he never showed up at training today. But enough about them. But listen, George, I know we talked about technology, but what we're saying is the experience of going to the game for people who can't make the game is going to change going forward.
Oxshire, you can't beat that, man. You can never beat that. Got in the game, getting ready to go to the game, meet your muckers and all that, man, and just got in the atmosphere. There's nothing.
It's a social thing. A social thing, yeah?
That is a social thing. I think it's a generational thing, know what I mean? Because my boy and that's in the game. And it's not. It's always the same, man. You walk by and you've just cost me a goal. You know what I mean? You've just me killed.
They're the dogs chasing me. You dirty rat.
Offside.
Chasing me or not?
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean? You can't
Who's offside, Bridgeman? What are you watching?
I saw something flashing up about Chelsea and what do you call them? Leicester. The Leicester player was offside.
Aye, it was offside there. Offside.
All right, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Listen, I asked a question. I'm going to go to this first and foremost. I'm going to go to Jim. Yeah, Jim. How do you think your club have handled this, if you like, this emergency in roughly the last 12 months? What's your opinion?
Well, there's nothing bad came out of it. I think they've been superb. I think the players have been told a certain thing. If they do anything, everything's got to be done to right on the ball. By the way, I think we've been on the ball with 100%. Obviously, well, it's not 100%. Just for they two, they kind of broke the protocols. But other than that, I think we've dealt with it.
Obviously, there's three things. There's the COVID, there's the football team, and there's the business side of things. How do you think we've handled the three things?
Business-wise, I think we've progressed on that side. Looking for that guy, him is all the commercial deals. The football side, fantastic. I did think it would have not having any fans here. We might have benefited this season, and I'm still thinking like that. What was the other thing?
And the football team.
Yeah, the football team. I'm saying fantastic. I think not having any fans here has probably helped us enough. That's my take on it, and I said that from the start. That I think these boys playing with no fans, it might help some of them.
All right, mate. All right. George and then Dale.
I think for the whole ensemble, man, Rangers have treated this in a completely professional manner. That's my take on it. Completely professional.
Well said, mate. Well said. Because obviously you've not been able to plan for it, Dale, because it's unique to everybody, innit? This time last year, you'd have laughed at me if you'd have said we're going to be locked up pretty much for a year.
Well, I definitely think, but what I'm so pleased at is the progression. Because even with that meltdown last season, even at home when Hamilton beats 1-0, you weren't getting into the last 10 minutes going, it's just a matter of time. Whereas like on Sunday there, we had no fear that Motherwell were going to bet away and score. It was just, all right, you've not got that final pass, you've not got the final ball. But we're absolutely camped in there, 85% possession in the second half. You know, we're just camped in. So you can see the difference with last year where we're going over 1-0 down to Hamilton. Where's it coming from? Whereas now we're all up in our seats going, it's going to happen. The fact it didn't happen, nobody sat down on it. But that's the difference I'm saying that years made. Now, I don't know whether it's lockdown, no fans, no none. I don't know what it is, but we just look a different bunch of boys.
Yeah. Gary, you come in, you went doing the technology route, we never really got to you to get your views on
the football. Let's get back to the football. I think, let's be honest, boys, I think 24 games in, 25 games in, is it? We're in. I think any one of us, that's it, So I think if you'd have said to any one of us, look, 24 league games gone, you'll be undefeated and only drop 6 points, not one of us would have said, we'd all ripped your arms off. Forget about what's happening on the other side of the city and the meltdown that's happening over there. But our club is in a fantastic place for the good feeling. I think that there's a cracking interview that I watched with McCoy done with a young boy, Cy Ferry, and he said if you've been in football long enough, you can smell it. And I think if we go back, to 2012, we could all feel it, we could all smell it as fans, what was happening with the club, and we were all fearing the worst. It did come out of nowhere, but we could smell it was coming. And what we're getting now is we're getting a good feeling of we trust the board. When the board say something, we have to have a level of trust there because of the position that they've put us in now. So I think commercially the club's doing well. In Europe we're doing well. We've got a good manager who we always feel is telling us the truth and is being honest. We've got a fantastic squad. Me personally, I think we've got the best squad in Scotland now. I've been saying that all season. I think Celtic were lulled into thinking they had the best squad, and I've been maintaining it all year and all season, and it made me laugh inside when I heard them saying it. But I think we're in a fantastic place, and I think we're in such a strong place now. When we do 55 and we go into the summer, I think inevitably we're going to have to sell on a couple of players just to balance the books a wee, and that. But we have faith in the management and the coaching team that they're going to bring young boys in for the young boy Wright for Aberdeen. And everybody's so negative with that. But who knows? Do you know what I mean? This boy might come down and playing amongst better players with more possession. Who knows what the boy's capable of doing? Because I've watched him. I've tried to, since we've been linked to him, I've watched a wee bit about him and tried to do a wee bit of homework on him. And you know what? Who knows? I was trying to think about young David Robertson back in the 90s when we bought him for Aberdeen. Do you know what I mean? Some guys just flourish when they come to a Rangers team.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Every signing is a gamble, mate. Doesn't matter if they're £10 million or 10 bob. Every signing is a gamble, mate. Yeah.
And that's the Rangers need to look for the value in players without spending too much money, and that's what they've really, really, really done over the last 18 months, 2 years.
All right. Fox, I never got your take on it. Obviously, you talked about Rangers TV and how you've enjoyed that, but how are you enjoying? I know you look at a lot of stuff daily, mate, and we seem to have a lot of good stuff going on in the background, a lot of good deals being made. Where merchandising's getting together, where off the parts getting together, and then when you come to the football side, this guy is my manager, just keeps taking us from strength to strength, and he knows how to conduct himself, not like everybody in Scottish football.
Yeah. I agree with everything Gary said there about the improvements on the side, but I think we need to look at the top of the pile, mate. I think the board have been absolutely tremendous through this period. They've managed to, with the team underneath them, and increase our revenue. And Friday, George Latham was added as a director to Rangers to join the other directors. So we as a club seem to be the only club in Scotland that's moved forward through this COVID. And once it's over, I think us as a fan base will see the benefits on the park for that.
Well said, mate. Well said. All right, we've got about 20 minutes to go, and if people want to join us, what's the number, JFK?
0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. You brought in a call.
Can I get a quick word on the club before I go, Ox?
Yeah, of course you can, Bob.
I agree with everything the guys are saying there. I mean, the transformation in Rangers since our bad time, I'm not going to describe it. We all know that. The transformation is incredible. I sat with my young brother in there, went up to see him when Caxina was the manager. And it was just a couple of days after Leader Corner says, I don't think I'll live to see Rangers win the league against her. And he says, you will. I says, I don't know. And then he kind of says, the way things are. I mean, that was a low point for us. But when I see the transformation, I mean, I'm no big on economics, like I've said, but as Fox says there, the job the board have done in appointing somebody the stature of Stephen Gerrard and the people he's brought in for to transform the playing staff has been nothing short of incredible. And as we've documented, I think most of this week has been a 50-point swing. 30 points behind to 20 points in front. It's incredible. And here, lo and behold, I hope in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to love to see Rangers winning the league. So that's my take on it, guys. Our club's came a long way in a short period of time. And long may it continue, and I'm sure it will. So if you've got any bit of technology, Gary, for taking dogs out, send it my way, son. All right. Have a good night, boys.
The robots are coming
again. But aye. Well, I've got you in sitting playing at bingo, right? Hey, all the best for the moment, lads, and take care.
Take care, my friend.
Cheers, mate.
We are the people.
Guys, I'm going to duck out as well, so good night for me.
Right, Jim Bob. Always
hey, bother. Right, I'll see you again, guys. Okay, good night.
Cheers, Jim.
Cheers. Good night, guys. Bye-bye.
Aye, it's I thought a lot of good stuff there, and I think I don't know if it's just the timing or the organisation or the people were put in place, and I think Fox has got a good point there with the board, JFK.
It took a few shots to get it right, though, didn't it? And we had to be patient with that, Oxy, and I think the people at the top now have got it right. And I mean, it's 9 year come this February when we went into administration. So would it? I mean, it'd have been great to win the league on that day, but I can't see that happening. But I mean, Dave King did say, he says, when we win the one title of many, they'll just a deck of cards will fall, and that has been proved to be right. A very shrewd man, deserves all the credit he gets, and obviously him and the three bears who've come in. I read what Fox was talking about. George Latham's now on the board, and congratulations to him. But first and foremost, this title, I know that I read an article about this title for our captain, James Tavernier, but above everything, this title should be dedicated to the dedication of us, the fans, what we've done this season for Rangers, the money we're put into them.
Oh, this season, mate, the 9 seasons, mate.
Well, I'm talking about especially this season when a lot of people thought, but we started talking about at the start of the show about, about buying this into it. We all bought into it again, and credit to every one of us for doing that. So I just can't wait till it's official. We've got the title, because it is coming. We all know that. Maybe some of us are frightened to say it, but it's there. We've got it. It's just having to wait for it. It's like waiting in Santa Claus coming. We know he's coming, but hurry up.
Bridgeman on the board. I mean, I know you've been. You go to the AGMs. You're a studier of the balance sheet and all things for that side of the business. But it's something that it's not a great subject to talk about because we want to talk about goals and players, but you need that structure to be successful.
Oh, most assuredly, pal. Most assuredly. And really on that, there's nobody could criticise the board. The board have been absolutely smashing since they particularly since they brought in Gerrard. They've been absolutely great, and they've been good to them, making sure he had the funds, and they're backing the whole way. And they're backing all the fans. There's a lot of fans, although I must admit, are wondering if we carry on into next season, are we still going to have to buy the virtual season ticket? There's a lot of folk got a bit of concern about that because maybe they might feel they're not getting what they get when they go to Ibrox. They're not getting the same kick, So maybe a conversation to have with themselves and their families. But me, I can only speak for myself here. I'll be buying whatever season tickets available to us, and that's all there is to it. I'm first in the queue every time. I think the board are brilliant for us. All I'm concerned about right now is that the board continue to back it and make sure that the manager and all his staff are happy and keep us going to the end of the season. That's what we really want, to the end of the season or to the point where we'll win the championship. That's simple as that.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I think it'll be a special day, special night, special week, special month when that happens.
Yeah, let's hope that we can manage to get some get together that's no going to cause us any problems or anybody else. You know, that would be fantastic.
Would that be in Yoker or Peterson Park?
There's a big square place in the Glasgow City Centre, and if I can get there, I'll be there.
God yourself, Jimmy.
all I can say is I've ordered a new liver. So I ordered a new one, you know. But I think the support first and foremost, JFK, and I think when you've heard the board talk about that, I think they appreciate the support. But what I will say, and I'm going to go to Fox with this, I think the big difference is we've ended up with supporters on the board, but weigh the business brains to get there. Foxy boy.
Well, I think a lot of credit needs to go to one Rangers supporter was Dave King, mate. And he surrounded and brought together a board full of Rangers supporters. That was the whole thing about taking over for the previous regime, that Rangers supporters will look after Rangers Football Club, and they're doing a tremendous job of that, mate.
Here, mate. Here. Right, okay. We just need to have a quick laugh. This gift that keeps on giving, the lies, the propaganda, the mismanagement, the house of cards, the implosion. You could not make it up, JFK.
Nah, I became kind of immune to it. It's just becoming nonsensical. Some of the things that I've been reading about, different investors are corrupt, and I just want to concentrate on what I know is going to happen in the next 6 weeks. That the team that I love is going to get their 55, and that's all that matters. You just let them bump their gums, I do listen to Snide Radio, but at the moment it's for the comedy factor. But I don't normally listen to it apart from that. I know likes of Fox can be a regular listener on it, but some of the rubbish, again, I watched Sports Scene the other night, and we know that they hate us. They tried to dissect that the Rangers goal was offside, they were drawing lines on the screen. Look, there's no VAR here. That wouldn't have been a goal if it had been VAR and all that. There's no VAR in Scotland. So rubbish like that, Oxyere, it's just time to become immune to it and just let them go and sink into their wee black hole, because that's where they're all going. And when the Rangers are champions in the next 6 weeks,
it will be entertaining. Bridgeman, I know you don't listen to it, you don't watch BBC, you don't listen to the
and I'm happy I don't, because that's a toxic company. I don't know what they've been saying regarding this goings on at Celtic Park. I don't know whether they're no. Well, you can just imagine what they're doing to all intents and purposes. But I would hope that they're not supportive of anything that's been going wrong and breaking whatever rules and regulations regarding COVID. And if this boy, whoever he is in Cham, is the one, and he's got COVID, or he's got the positive, and he's staying or he's with French Eddie, there's got to be others. How did he get it? He's been in quarantine. How did he pick it up? Has he been out? You know what I mean? That's the questions I've started to ask, because this type of thing impacts the whole of Scottish football and the whole of Scottish life. That's the gospel truth. Anyway, I'm not wanting to say too much more about that, because then I can get upset. Can we talk about slagging the ABB? No, I don't want to slag a BBC, sorry.
No.
Okay, anybody.
You've had the manager, and just because we're having a pop at him, but we've had the manager for that team coming out today, Fox, and making slanderous remarks. Well, yesterday he done it, and St Johnstone and other teams are coming fighting back and said, wait a minute, here's what actually happened. So even in his press conference yesterday, lies is a bit strong, but the information he's putting in there, proves not to be correct.
Well, the result that Nitcham is get COVID, mate. The NHS who had a go at it as well, that the protocols were wrong for them about their seating on the plane. Saved Nitcham from getting into the training ground, and his whole squad could have been out, mate. So there's a lesson for him about opening his mouth for me. I think they've been treated more than fairly, and if most people had their say, they would be treated a bit harsher if MD was wanting to ask.
But that's the thing though, Fox. We had 2 players suspended for 7 games, and rightly so, a couple of idiots. But the compliance officer acted on that within 48 hours. And yet what they've done is they've done exactly the same as the Aberdeen players. They all sat round a table, you know, and nothing's been said about it. The compliance officer finishes her job next week. That's her. They're looking for somebody else. So what's happening at all? Why are they not being punished? Why to see them punished badly? And his rant yesterday was laughable. Laughable it was. No respect for the people, personally, and my family, people who work at the sharp end of this COVID thing, and he's disrespecting them. What an a-hole he is.
George, it's been comedy gold on a serious subject.
Aye, man. I thought it was young man. Did you hear what Alan McCoy said today? He couldn't believe. He was absolutely astounded, man. He said, the Ingme, what'd you call him? Corn teeth. He's coming out saying he'd lost the league. I mean, you would never hear a Rangers manager saying that, would you? With 14 games to play.
No, you wouldn't like to think. So that with 3 games in hand, you'd be putting, and you've got to play it twice, you know.
Man. You fight for every point, man, right to the last, man. You know what I'm talking about? He's just, and it's talking about the thing, mate, the COVID thing. I don't know how they've not been punished more by, because they broke all the rules, not just one, they broke the lot.
Gary, as I said, comedy gold, but on a serious subject, you know. They've not helped the situation in our home country, you know.
Right. I don't want to get too involved with it, but Neil Lennon has shown himself up in the last 24 hours to be exactly what he is. He's managed to wallow in the, I don't know, we'll put it in inverted commas, success of the club. He's managed to ride an absolute winning machine that Brendan Rodgers created, and he's rode that until it's the big freight trains come to a crash and stop, and the real Neil Lennon's come out. Anybody with half a brain cell, as soon as he was asked about that in his press conference, where they just parked it and went, it's been dealt with, it's in the past, we're moving on. But the real Neil Lennon came out. Now, to get back to what they've done, you know, for him to come out and say what he said about the NHS and the protocols put in place, that's the reason why they've managed to partake in this league. That's what's kept this league going. That's what managed to get everybody onto the pitch. That's why they're still playing. That's why the elite sports. And him, I think it's all part of this project null and void that they're trying to go for now. I really think it's all to do with that, because they're trying to shake trees to see what falls out. Because if he annoys that Nicola Sturgeon enough, she has the power and the potential to pull the plug. So you've got to tie it in with that. You've got to say he's at it, because he gains nothing from keeping that going other than that cabinet, that Scottish cabinet sitting round and going like that. Who does he think he is, questioning us? Do you know what I mean? It's all just piling pressure on the authorities to the point where we're not taking that. And, you know, the only person to gain for null and void now is Celtic. Because, but listen, as I say, you know, he is a shambles of a man.
I mean, I
don't think it's going to happen either. But they've got no other option now.
When you only know how to play the victim card when you're backed into a corner, it's no unusual for people who have been taught that for day one. That's how they come out kicking.
Yeah.
But comedy.
He's not done himself any favours with his own sorry, Ox. He's not done himself any favours with his own fans either, because they're embarrassed by him. There's not any protecting him, put it that way.
And they ever go at two other clubs who are trying their best with the small finances that they've got to do the best job they can to protect their players as well as their own players, was really below the belt for me.
Yeah. Classless, Fox. Classless.
You said it.
Yeah, and obviously, as I said, the statement for the lady for St Johnstone today, and it shows them up for what they are.
Yeah. Aye, without a doubt.
Well, JFK, what a mystery tour it's been tonight, isn't it?
Oh, it's been absolutely. We went round the world there. Somebody put on the lobby. They tuned in to listen to Rangers Radio and ended up listening to Tomorrow's World. Remember that programme? I remember when I watched that and they showed you a CD. And I went, that'll never work, that. Look at that. Oh, dearie me.
How can you put a needle on a CD?
Aye. But it's been a good show. Gary phoned in and he took it to a different level. As you say, we went from talking things about Rangers to the Rangers TV, and then we went right off in one, and some great places like Stepek and DER and things like that, good banter as usual. It's Stuart that came on. Stuart just said that while we off film, mate, if it hasn't been for Rangers Radio, I found it by accident, on Facebook, and then the first dulcet tones I heard was yourself, and I get hooked ever since then, and it's something that, especially during the pandemic, it's kept me going, and I've got to thank you for that. It's nice to be part of the panel now and again. I really appreciate that. But it's a great place, and it's, as Stuart said, it is like, we are all friends. We all became friends in different ways, meeting each other now. But it's like going down to the pub after the game and discussing the game, and that's the way it should be. We do get the occasional blip, but that's what happens. But Stuart just hit it in the head for me. Really, really, it's a great place to come and speak to your fellow Gers fans, and it's something I appreciate and hope I'm here and for it to continue for a long time, mate. Really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Can I just say before you go that we got on to talking about the future and nobody mentioned garlic bread. Totally surprised me.
Well, we could be here all night.
You need a new script writer. Well, Bridgeman, it's over to you.
Oh, what can I say? By the way, Ox there and...
Oh, he's hit the wrong button. He's hit the wrong button just as he's made his spiel. Can I just say, for all the Rangers fans listening, particularly on this wee radio show, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need you. Can I thank all the callers tonight who phoned in? Brilliant. I think Stuart might have grabbed the show tonight with his 2 cans of export. Thanks, Stuart. We appreciated your sentiments. Thanks to Gary coming in and giving his expertise for something that you never know is going to happen when you have a subject on Rangers Radio. Enjoyed your input. Thanks to JFK and Bridgeman for doing the panel, and of course Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. I hope we didn't make too much of a fright on Instagram. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night. Joined by Big Stevie for the drum between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Thanks for listening. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Just what the Rangers really mean to me. These last few years I've been afraid that we might drift away. So I've been telling old stories and singing songs. Made me think about where we come from. That's the reason why I feel so very proud today. Let me tell you that I love you. I think about you all the time. Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had. We won 9 in a row, and I'm still dreaming of Brian Lampard, Trevor Stephen, Marvin Andrews, Seth, keep believing, Davy Cooper on the wing. We remember Gaza with great affection, the day the helicopter changed direction. Jimmy Baxter, he was pure perfection. Super Ali scores again. Well, let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium's cozy, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had. To think of life without the Rangers, we know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers